are on day 4 of 5. Today's Thursday, July 23rd, and thus far you were able to learn 3 chords, and you're rocking it right now with your 3 chords, playing all type of music. But today we have one more chord I would love for you to learn, and that's the D major chord. It can be a little difficult to play, you know. By now I'm sure some of you are saying, "Oh, my fingers hurt, and I see this line on my finger." It's all right. More progress, the more you play, the less painful it will be. You will have calluses, and next thing you know, you'll be able to play a bunch of other chords. But today, let us focus on the D major chord. And after you've learned this, we will be able to put all 4 chords together to learn our first song, standing on the promises of God. And hopefully, you'll have a chance to all be able to play that, and then maybe we'll have you as part of our final festival. So I'll be available in the chat room again for any questions, and I'll be available for online lessons in the afternoon. Feel free to reach out, and I look forward to teaching you guys about the D major chord.
So now it's time to tune your guitar with mine, and so I'm just going to play my open strings several times each, and so feel free to make sure that you get your strings just right. Do your best to make sure that they match what you hear on the video. We'll start with string number 1, the E string. And one last time. Good. Now we'll move on to the second string, the B string. And again, we'll do this 4 times. Good. Hope you got it. Next to the third string, the G. And now string 4, D. On to string 5, this is A. And one last time. And finally, the 6th string, your low E. Here we go. And last time. Now there you have it. Feel free to stop and rewind just a little bit if you need to get maybe one of those strings just right. But there you have it, all 6 strings in tune. Hey everybody, welcome back. We're here with Jimmy, and he's going to teach us our 4th chord, the D major chord, in this lesson. But before we get to that, Jimmy, I think it's good to go back and review a little bit what we've done already. So everybody at home, go ahead and open up to the C major chapter, and we're going to look at the C major chord just as a refresher. And look at figure 23, which is going to be the 2 measures of G, 2 measures of E minor, and 2 measures of C.
Okay.
And we're going to repeat that. And Jimmy is going to play that for us so that we can do all that together. So have your guitar ready, get those fingers ready to go, and we'll refresh our fingers and our memories together. All right?
Let's do it.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, play. There it is. Sounds great. Now we're ready to look at the D major chord. So go ahead and turn to that in your book, that chapter, the D major chord. Jimmy, would you walk us through how to play this chord, the D major chord?
Yeah, absolutely. This chord, we're going to be kind of focusing on the top strings of the guitar. We're not going to use the 2 low ones down here at all. So let's go ahead and go to your book, figure 24 in this chapter. Take a look at it. You should be kind of getting familiar with these diagrams by now, so you can probably look at it and start to figure it out as we're talking. But let's start with a high E string. If we look at that, we see that there's a 2 inside the 2nd fret of the high E string.
Okay.
That means to put your 2nd finger down there. So go ahead and do that now. 2nd finger, 2nd fret of the high E string, just like this. Good, that looks nice. And then we're going to take our 3rd finger, put it in the 3rd fret of the B string.
Okay.
All right, so it should look like this. And then our 1st finger comes down to the G string.
Okay.
Inside the 2nd fret, just like it is on your diagram. So here you have 2 fingers inside the 2nd fret. So that's really what I'm focusing on here. I've got my 1st finger and my 2nd finger. They're a string apart. There's a 1 in between them, so it's separated by the 3rd finger. But that 2nd fret is really important here. So this is how the chord should look. Let's go string by string now, just like always. Make sure that we have all the notes in here. It should sound like this. All right, and it's just those 3 strings. If you're looking at your diagram, you see that these 2 low strings are X'd out. That means we don't strum those or play those at all. So just the top 4.
Okay.
All right, well, Marty, why don't you go ahead and do that? You at home, do it along with him. I'll just have you start and slowly go up the chord, okay?
Okay.
Here we go. Ready? And your high E string, go. And your B string. Good. Now your G. And last, your D. Good, that's how it should sound. That would be a great place to go ahead and pause and maybe just take a moment that you've got all those chords down under your fingers really well.
Good, all right. Well, so if I'm at home and I'm having trouble getting one of these notes out, like my 2nd finger on that E string, for example, how do I fix that?
Okay, well, this is just a common problem with the D chord, and this is something we fix with all of our other things as well. You're going to start to hear us give you these same things over and over because you really need to be thinking about it.
Yeah.
Once again, this is an issue of having your thumb in the right place, having your hand rotated around, and having your fingers going straight into the neck.
Okay.
It's a common problem with the D chord that high E string is going to be muted by your 3rd finger laying across it accidentally. So just make sure that you have all your fingers directly into the neck, and you should be able to hear it nice and clean. You go ahead and play it for me again.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's what we should hear.
Okay. All right.
Very good.
So looking at this chord, we can see that there aren't really any common tones with the other chords. So we know that we're going to have to find this one just kind of, well, not by guessing, but we need to know where it's going to go. And we don't really have the help of any common fingers or tones. So what can we do? Any exercise that we can do, maybe the play and drop or what?
Yeah, let's do the play and drop exercise before we even get going because we have no reference point leading from another chord. You're absolutely right. No common tones. So we got to pluck this one out of thin air, really. So let's do the play and drop exercise really quick. Go ahead and get your D chord.
Okay.
Give it a good look. Make sure you know where those fingers are going. I'm aiming for the 2nd fret whenever I come back.
With your first finger?
With my first finger
Okay.
and my 2nd finger, really, because they're both there. I know that they're a string apart, and that's what I'm concentrating on.
Gotcha. Okay.
So everybody have the D chord?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so let's see. I'll count you off 4 counts, and you'll strum it, then drop your hand, and I'll tell you to bring it back.
Okay.
And then I'll count you off again to strum it.
Good. Okay.
Here we go. Strum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now drop your hand.
Okay.
I'll bring it back. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that one more time. Drop your hand. Bring it back. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good. Okay. Not too hard. This is a little difficult. You know, trying to figure out exactly where to get them to. But I think the more we do it, you know, the better it'll get. Right. It's all about this muscle memory.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. So it would be a good place to pause then and try it on your own.
Don't be afraid to do that. Press pause and make sure you get those fingers right to the place they need to be. Okay, so now that we can do that, do you think maybe we should move on to changing between some of these chords?
Yeah, I think we're ready to go
Which
ahead and do
ones?
that.
Where do we start?
Okay, so we've got all the notes fixed and everything. Let's go ahead and do our usual strumming exercise where we strum for 8 beats, rest for 8 beats, and then repeat on our D major chord. This is figure 25 in your book. Make sure you're following it. Even if you know it, go ahead and look at it anyway. We want to be used to reading music as we're doing all this. So figure 25. Aim for that 2nd fret, get your fingers up.
Okay.
And here we go. All right, I'm going to have Marty play it. I'm going to count you off, full 2 measures, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so now that we've got all of this down, we got the chord learned, do you think maybe we should move on to actually changing the chords?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So we'll jump right into the exercises in the book
perfect.
then. So the first one that we've got is figure 26.
Okay.
In our book, this is pretty similar to exercises we've done before. We're going to play G for 8 beats, rest for 8 beats, D for 8 beats, rest for 8 beats, and then repeat.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Should look pretty familiar. The only thing is we don't have the common tone to come to, but we've done the play and drop exercise, so we're kind of a little bit more used to coming back to D here. All right. Ready?
Yep.
Here we go. I'm going to have you play it.
Okay.
2 measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, play. Rest, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, play. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right.
Okay, good. So hopefully not too bad. I mean, we're getting more familiar with the instrument. Our fingers are getting a little bit more, nimble, used to moving around the fretboard. So we're going to go ahead and jump straight into going from G to D now with nothing in between. We'll take it at a nice slow tempo. Nothing to freak out about. So we'll do that now. This is figure 27 in your book. So go ahead and give that a quick look over. It's pretty simple. 2 measures of G, 2 measures of D, and repeat. It's what we just did without the rest. So get your G chord up. Marty has it. It looks good. Great. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, play. Now D. Now G. Now D. All right, very good.
Okay.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad now, was it?
Not too terribly bad. We'll
No.
get used to it with some practice, I suppose. Yeah.
And Marty's doing a great job too with the D chord of only strumming those top 4 strings and not hitting the low 2, which
Yeah,
is
it
important.
takes a little bit of precision, I guess, with your pick hand, right?
It really does,
Okay.
and you'll get more used to it as things go on. Don't freak out if you do accidentally hit them, but we're trying to avoid them as much as we can.
Yeah, okay.
So let's keep moving. Figure 28 now.
Okay.
This one is 2 measures of C, 2 measures of D, and repeat it.
Okay.
This is you go in between these 2 chords a lot. Whenever you're doing chord progressions, they show up. So we'll go ahead and work on them now.
All right.
All right, here we go. Figure 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, go. And repeat. Okay, that looks pretty good. I mean, you can go back and pause and work on that if you need to. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and look at this last little progression that we've got here.
Which looks like it's going to be figure 29. And I'll be honest, Jimmy, I've been playing a little bit for a while, and this progression looks pretty familiar. I've seen it in a lot of tunes.
Yeah,
right?
it shows up quite a bit. This is an
Okay.
extremely common chord progression, so this is a great exercise for you to learn. I can't tell you how many worship tunes have almost this exact same progression or some variation of it in it.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and look at it now and learn it, and this is one that you'll definitely want to have under your belt. So figure 29 in your book, this is G to E minor. Using that common tone, use it again to go to C, and then C to D. This is all 4 chords that we've learned all together in one exercise.
Fantastic.
All right.
Here we go.
Well, let's give it a go then. Yeah, Marty's going to play. I'll count them off. And we'll go just a tad slower than we have been doing since we're using all of these chords.
Okay.
So here we go. Figure 29. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, go. Now repeat. All right, that's it.
All right, that's exciting.
Yeah, very common
cool.
chord progression.
Yeah, I
Already
hear it a
fun.
lot. That's cool.
All right, great.
Well, you guys at home, don't forget about the CD. We want to tell you about that again, just to make sure that you can play along with these exercises just with the audio of all of this, which is pretty cool. So yeah, don't forget about the CD. And I think that's it. We got 4 chords under our fingers, which is, a very cool thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
ready to learn a song, I think.
Yeah,
Just about.
Really close.
All right, thanks guys. We'll see you at the next lesson.